Welcome back into the Real Estate Report. I'm Tony Mendez. A lot of people that are out there buying today are looking at these higher interest rates. So 8 months ago, they were 2 to 3% lower. That's eaten into their debt ratio or their buying power by 5 to 10%. We've seen 5 to 10% debt ratio loss over the on several of these transactions that we've done, and people have to scramble to get co-signers. That's something that we should talk about at some point is co-signers. A lot more people are going to need co-signers, and what are the implications of that? So that same priced house last year costs more today. Essentially, you're qualifying for less. A lot of people having to get not pre-approved, but re-approved for their loan. Sellers are also feeling this. How do we keep our house, the sale of our house, that price where it is? Let's say it's a $900,000 house. How do we keep that there when we have buyers that are losing buying power? Well, some of the things that we've seen people do is, you're going to start seeing more seller credits, right? You're going to see this. This is just going to happen. You're going to start seeing more days in the market, which is something else we're going to talk about today. And you're going to see buyers and sellers just really getting into it. It's going to be more balanced. So one of the things you want to do is to get a lower rate, right? So let's say you're getting a seller credit. That seller credit can be used to pay your closing costs. Let's say you're getting a $10,000 credit. Let's take a $500,000 loan. Let's say that the seller's a little bit more agreeable about giving you a $10,000 credit. That's about 2 points. Okay. So that credit, instead of using it towards your closing costs, you have some other options. You can buy points. Points are, 1 point is 1% of your loan amount. So on a $500,000 loan, that's $5,000. So if you were given $10,000, you can buy the loan down, or buy the rate down, that is, by 2 points. Those 2 points, in this case, I looked it up, it's about 0.75% lower in rate. And on a $500,000 loan, that's about $233 lower each month. That means the seller paid you, or paid to lower your payment by $233 a month for the life of the loan. The break even on that is 43 months, just under 4 years. Every month after that is more money in your pocket. So they paid for your lower rate. You save $233 a month for 43 months, or you could have taken that money and put it towards your closing costs. But every month after that is more money in your pocket. So that's the long-term scenario. And this doesn't make sense for about 50% of the buyers out there. You need to keep the loan for at least that 43 months in this case. You don't know if rates are going to come down enough for you to refinance. You may sell or refinance for like a cash out. Who knows what you're going to do? But that's about 50% of us that happen. Otherwise, it would have made more sense for you to put that money towards the closing costs, and would simply rather have that money now. It's whether you want the money now or you want it later. So the other thing you can do with that $10,000 concession, this is hypothetical, is to do what they call a Buydown. This is the short-term answer. Using the same example where the seller is giving you about $10,000, exactly $10,000 in seller credit. They want to keep the price the same. They're saying, no, I'm not lowering my price, but I'll give you a $10,000 credit. And just like the previous example, the Buydown works to lower your rate. The Buydown works only for 1 to 3 years. So you can choose 1, 2, or 3. So let's take the 2-year option. It's called a 2-1 Buydown. This means the first year your rate will be 2% lower, and then the next year after that, the second year, will be 1% lower. Let's take 5.5. Right now it's 5.7, but 5.5 is an interest rate. So the first year, your rate will be 3.5%. That payment is $2,245. That's $593 lower. This is a yearly difference of $7,100. The second year, the rate is 1% lower, or 4.5%. That payment is $2,533, or $305 lower, or $3,600 that year. And in the third year, it goes back to the 30-year payment at 5.5%. So the total of these 2 year savings, which is roughly $10,795, you can go back to the seller and say, look, I'll buy it at $900,000, but I need a $10,795 credit. And then you can enjoy your lower payment for the next 2 years. Now, again, you don't have to use that money towards a buy down. You don't have to use it towards points. You can put it towards closing costs instead. That's the immediate savings. The long-term savings is when you do it to buy down what they call points. That on a 30-year fixed or an ARM, it doesn't matter what you use, but you're buying down the rate forever. until you pay off that loan. And then you have what they call the short-term savings, which is the 1 to 3 year Buydown. So these are some tools that a lot of people are considering. You're welcome to shoot us an email, Tony@BayAreaLoanSource.com. That's Tony@BayAreaLoanSource.com. You can also check out our Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. That's all Bay Area Loan Source. And you can always call the show if you want to get your questions on the air, 800-516-1220. That's 800-516-1220. We'll be right back after this break.